Make some noise for Kim Coates. I took my pandemic time to try to look as much like you as I can. I'm trying.
You look better than me, shut up.
Dude, what did you do during the big lockdown? Some people started new hobbies, knitting, puzzles. What did Kim Coates get up to?
Kim Coates was, I think, is Candace and Cindy here? Oh, there they are. So they know this, but I was doing a big vampire deal in Bratislava in Slovakia, Van Helsing, where we went back like 1,000 years, where Dracula came from. That wasn't me. I actually played a good guy, Count Dalibor. My nickname actually was Count Sexy on the yeah. Anyway, we're there. The COVID's happening. It's in Italy. People don't know what's going on. It's February, mid-February, and all of a sudden, my driver knocks on my door. Beginning of March, and says, Kim, they might shut the Vienna airport down this weekend. And I pulled the producers into the trailer and I said, guys, we gotta go. We can't be stuck in East. I mean, it's beautiful, but we can't be stuck there. So we did. We worked some overtime and we figured it all out, and we all left on a plane on the Friday back to America in Vancouver. And then that was, March 6th or something. And as we all know, the world stopped. They're on the 14th, 15th, right? So
yeah.
You guys know I'm Canadian, proud, right? Yeah. I'm American too, but Canadian first. And so I ran back to Canada for 9-10 months. Wow. And I finally came back to the States in February of this year to do a big sort of limited TV series for Snapchat called Action Royale. It's kind of amazing, actually. Hey, Sin? It's kind of good, right? It looks great. Yeah, I had so much fun doing that. And then I got cast with Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux for HBO called White House Plumbers. I was in New York and Washington, D.C. for 4.5 months. Nixon, Watergate. I played a guy called Frank Sturgis, the real guy. I looked just like him, I think, really. I gained a lot of weight, which was so much fun to eat pizza and drink wine, and my wife didn't even argue with chips and wine 5 o'clock every night. Yeah. Got prepared for him, and I just wrapped, and here we are, seeing you again. Mm-hmm. Show this shirt off.
Oh, yeah, this is...
Can you stand up?
Yeah.
Do you want to read it, Tanner?
This is this is the world-famous slogan. New York is big, but this is bigger. Bigger Saskatchewan. There you go.
My boy.
Yeah. Do you have a shirt? I can get you one.
Can you?
I can get you. I'll get you one.
Extra large, please.
Okay, I'm gonna mail it. I'll get it. We'll talk
please.
later. With a slogan like that, come on, man. Home of the Hanson Buck.
Come on.
Sandra Schmirler. What else is this bigger known for?
The late Sandra Schmirler. She was amazing. So yeah, and
wow.
Here we are. We're opening up a little bit. It's so nice to see all you guys. What's that? Pardon me? Yes, and then of course, thank you, Candace. Theo Rossi and I started a podcast called Reaper Reviews a little over a year and 5 months ago now, where we review every episode of Sons of Anarchy. And that's taken off. That's gone crazy on every podcast outlet that you can find. So we're in season 6 of that. We do that once a week. Wow. So you know what? I'm pretty busy and pretty lucky to have had the frickin' career that I've had that they keep hiring me. I don't know why.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time just as most people watching stuff, YouTube, and I took a dive one day, and I'm glad I did, to the Kevin James YouTube channel, which is hilarious. And I saw a little familiar face, and what is it? You got something there?
Yeah.
How did that come to be? Have you guys watched this, by the way? Amazing. Kevin James's channel is hilarious, by the way. You should check it out. But yeah.
Kevin James and I met on a movie called Grilled that 4 people saw, which was really too bad because it's really pretty good. With Ray Romano, Kevin James, Burt Reynolds, Juliette Lewis plays my girlfriend. And what's the gal on the ABC Big Fan? She's a beautiful gal on the comedy. It's been on for 20 years now, Candace, with, All in the Family, not Family.
Come on, Candace.
Family. No, there's gay, straight, Modern Family. Thank you. What's her name? Pardon me? Correct. We had one scene together in Grilled, and that was kind of impressive and fun in a bedroom. Anyway, look. So Kevin James is a buddy. I've done some things with him, and I did his new sitcom pre-COVID, pre-Slovakia, called The Crew, about NASCAR. Look at my two agents over there. Let's clap for Kim. So clap for Kim. Please, thank you. And while we were there, Kevin goes, come here. I go, where are we going? To the hallway. I go, for what? We're smoking in the hallway? He goes, no, come on. And they just did it, right? We didn't
really? That's where that was
rehearsal,
shot?
no nothing. There's these brothers. I can't remember their last name now. They shoot all these behind-the-scenes stuff for Kevin. There's like 6 of them, 5 of them, 4 of them, brothers. They're from Jersey. They're amazing. And they just put the cameras up, and I'm in this little sitcom with Kevin in the hallway, no rehearsal, no nothing, and that's what you saw.
Yeah, it's really well
funny,
done.
right?
Yeah, and like the production value is like, you guys, I mean, you had some mustard at one point, you had some props department and the sets come in.
We had Kleenex on the shoe, we had mustard, we had some blood, we had a little spirituality shit going down.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. This is beautiful.
But yeah, you've, I guess, talk before we go to some audience questions, we can see you next. I mean, you did some episodes of Pretty Hard Cases, which was, how fun was that? I feel you're working with some
Really
pretty talented people on that
Meredith
show.
and Adrian, the two lead gals in that. Women are my favorite species anyway. When I have 2 daughters, you have no choice, and that's the truth. I mean, they're both so powerful, beautiful, smart people. And to work with gals who are the leads of the show, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, Baroness von Sketch. I mean, do you watch a lot of Canadian
I don't watch
television
anything.
yourself? Nothing?
No.
Hey, what do you watch? Nothing at all?
I
Movies,
really,
TV?
Well,
No?
that's the funny thing. Like Candace knows this. I mean, when Theo and I started doing Sons of Anarchy, people go, "Oh my God, 7 years. How'd you like the show?" And I would go, honestly, I've seen about 25 of the episodes. I would always see the first one and the last one of every season. So what's that, 14? And then I would see, sprinkles. Like I saw the Venus Van Dam stuff because that was just so, what a love story, right? Like what a love story. So I didn't want to miss that stuff just because Walton, anytime you want to grow breasts that big and you want to shave your legs and you want to get that accent and you want to walk around in pumps and you want to wear a wig and you want to hang with transgenders and transvestites in downtown LA, I'll watch everything that she does. So he and I to spend that much time together doing Venus and Tig and Venus was something. And so I've only seen maybe 30 shows. So to review the show has been special for me to actually watch it. So I don't really watch anything.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see, your career is over the years, more and more and more. I mean, I come from a different perspective on Kim's career growing up in the same hometown as you. And I remember, I think it was Waterworld was like the job that everyone was like, I know this guy. Oh, he was my friend's cousin. I partied with him back in the day. This is the guy, the drifter. You got to watch this movie. That's Kim Coates. He's from here. That was so, it's got to be cool to do you ever, go back home and, meet those people again? And
all the time, bro. Yeah, you get it. I mean, Waterworld actually got me my green card. It's funny when I'm still married to Diana, 35 years. That's worth a round of applause, right? Roller coaster the whole time. But my wife, how she puts up with me is just remarkable. She's the most incredible mother and wife and friend, and I love her to death. But she, we got married in '84, and I'm going to Stratford, and I'm playing Macbeth. I'm 26, and I have all these New York agents coming to see my work, and Macbeth was like crazy, you guys, because think about this. The real story of Duncan and Macbeth, they were in their late 30s. They were dead by the time they were 37, 38, for sure. And everyone who plays Macbeth is 70, 65, 74. They're all older guys, right? So Stratford wanted to shake it up and hire a guy like me. Now, truly, we're at Stratford, opening night, true story. Tom Kerr directed, the late Tom Kerr, and John Neville as well. And there we are, packed. There's hardly any set pieces. And I come out with Banquo and the swords, and we're young, and the witches show up, and they tell me what's going to happen, some little thing, and I do my first soliloquy, and then I go off the set, and then there's Lady Macbeth, and she's waiting for me, and I came on the set, and I fucking ripped her top off. I'm throwing her on the ground. She's wrapping her legs around me. People were like, what is going on? And it was lustful, and it was amazing. And the reviews were amazing. We toured it in America as well. So we did that, and then I went to New York, and all of a sudden, I have a lawyer, I'm paying for that, I'm getting E1 visas, L1 visas. I can't work in McDonald's, but I can work in the film business if I should be so lucky. And I would take a train. We had no money. We have no kids yet, but we're just doing the thing. And all of a sudden I do Miami Vice with Don Johnson. And my dad, who's gone now, has Fred. You guys would have loved Fred. Did you meet my dad?
I don't.
Did you ever meet Freddie back in the family?
I don't think I did. No.
My cousins are related to this handsome boy. Anyway, so Dad would go. I'd call my father and go, Dad, I'm working on Miami Vice with Don Johnson. He goes, woo, woo. And I get down to Miami and I get the money, and by the time I paid the lawyers and for the visa and everything, I made $18.72. And my dad has always said that's the greatest $18.72 he ever made, because I joined SAG. All of a sudden I'm on Broadway. I'm playing Stanley Kowalski on Broadway. Then Hollywood discovers me. I'm doing The Last Boy Scout, Innocent Blood, The Client, Waterworld, Green Card, boom shakalaka. It all happened. And I must say, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, that America, with all its issues, and I mean, don't get me started, but honestly, when I was a kid and when I was a young adult, and I worked so hard from theater and theater and theater. I played Dracula in Atlanta, Les Liaisons Dangereux in Louisville, Kentucky. It was all stage. I think that's why I've had the career I've had. And I remember America wanted guys like me. America wanted people like me who worked hard and paid their taxes and realized that there was no different, like we're different. We're all different. I don't care what color we are, what sex we are, gay, straight, we're all different and unique. And I was so naive and I was so gullible, but I guess somewhat not afraid to fail or smart or whatever you want to. I just thought it was all going to work out, and it really did. And I'm here talking to you guys, so that's kind of cool.
And now every time you go home, it's like a damn provincial holiday. I swear to God. Every time it's like Kim Coates, you're doing some appearance. They got David, a street named after you at this point somewhere?
Not yet. They named the new bridge after Gordie Howe, my favorite hockey player. How dare they?
I get updates. Like my uncle, like last year, a couple years ago now, is like, you know who came to whoever's auction sale today? Kim Coates was there. So you were apparently, I mean, you make your rounds. I know. I get the text.
Yeah. You know, my favorite spot to get recognized is at a service station in Saskatoon. You gotta see it to believe it. I've always got like a Maserati or a Jaguar that these people give me because I help out with a charity, and I don't really want a Maserati, but they insist. And there I am. I get out of the car, and lately with the mask on this past summer, and they still spot me, and they lose their pajamas. The gas is overflowing. They can't fucking believe it. Is it really you? And I'm going, it's really me. They're going, no, it's not. It can't. It's you. And it's pretty funny.
It's a thing. Yeah, there's a statue. I think they're carving you in bronze. It'll be great.
Yet.
It's going to be good. Gordie Howe has a statue, so we got to get on that. Audience questions. There's a few of you guys out there, and I know a lot of you have some questions for Kim. So let's get started. So go ahead. I don't think we don't have a mic, so just stand up and yell really loud and go ahead.
Well, my mom is a huge fan of Pearl Harbor. She loves your character in that. But I was wondering what your favorite film to work on is, if you have one.
I actually just don't have favorites. I really, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I just don't. I've had big parts, little parts, medium parts, great times, medium times. I just don't have a favorite. But Pearl Harbor, man, I mean, Alec Baldwin, I mean, that's just so bad. I mean, what happened on that set, right, the other day, I mean, that's just such a tragedy, and it just should never happen. And Alec and I spent a lot of time in Pearl Harbor, right? All our scenes are together, and here's something you can tell your mom. Is she here? That's inexcusable. Okay. So you tell your mom that Alec and I played Lieutenant Richards, real guy. He was Doolittle, real guy, real guys, right? And they were nonstop smokers in real life. And so Alec and I, being the internal actors we are, I hate to use the word method, but whatever, we're smoking. And we're just gonna smoke in every scene. And Michael Bay would come up to us on day 5, on day 20, and go, this is Disney. We're gonna have to cut your scenes. And Alec went, no, cut it. We lost at least 4 scenes because we refused to stop smoking. So he was right. That was a very big no-no for Disney when they did that huge movie for Disney. But I had yeah, man, I mean, you know, everyone thinks and I do, I give good creep, you know, and I play a lot of bad boys and heavies and shit, but comedy's my favorite. I love comedy more than anything, really. What's that?
He's got a list of questions, and you guys have pretty much answered the balls.
Have I? Good.
Great.
Sin. Anyway, yeah, so nice question.
How about like maybe not favorite, but what character that's stayed with you the longest? Like maybe, you know, you dove into that you couldn't really shake, or that really got to you. Maybe it was the research involved, the prep involved,
Yeah, I have 2. Sons of Anarchy, obviously Tig Trager. There was moments of Tig where it was just brutally violent, brutally sad, brutally my daughter dying. You know, the whole thing with Venus was very emotional in a weird, beautiful love story kind of way. And I had a hard time shaking him at times. Mm-hmm. I do pretty good at coming home and being Kim Coates. I have no time for that method bullshit. You just, come on. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis is one of the great internal actors of all time, is famous for pulling all kinds of stunts in the makeup trailer, all kinds of funny, but when he's on set, no, it's full on. There's no farting around. So I appreciate that. And King of Sorrow, which probably no one's seen in this room. Candace, have you seen King of Sorrow? Sin, have you seen it? Okay, so Sin's like looking at me like, I've seen it all, Kim. I've seen everything you've done.
It's like having like a walking IMDb page,
no,
like right
she
there,
is.
right?
No,
Like
she knows more than
you
I.
ever forget anything, yeah, you just.
So King of Sorrow, you saw it then. You know, the whole, I lost a lot of weight for that, and a lot of drug action in that. A cop, actually a good cop, bad cop, really sad, really violent, really emotional, a lot of crying, but beautiful. I won a couple of big awards in Pasadena for Best Actor for that show. It was too much for the Toronto Film Festival. It still upsets me. It was too much, almost an X-rated thing. Anyway, there you go.
All right. Was that a cough? You have to leave. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, your question. Okay, go.
Okay, it's no secret you've done everything there is to do in the industry, except writing. Do you have any plans to be a writer? What is the potential?
Did you guys hear that?
Would you like to write something?
Sin said, you know, I've done a lot of things, but would I like to write something? And I have to say, I want to direct before I write, but, you know, Bad Blood, how good was Bad Blood, right? You guys who saw Bad Blood? You know, Michael Conovis and Simon Barry, who wrote that entire series, I wrote none of it, but I got to give notes, a lot of notes. And with some of those notes comes a little bit of writing. So I'm always finessing writing-wise things all the time, Sin, but I haven't written anything really just because I'm still too funneled in the producing, acting, and wannabe director sort of line right now.
Write the 3rd season of Bad Blood.
No, I couldn't. Michael Conovis could, though. Simon Barry could. If I told you guys what that 3rd season was going to be, you would poop your pants.
Is there any way that that's ever going to happen?
Candace just said, is there any way that's going to happen? I got to tell you, you never say never, but I've pretty much said never because you guys know this. You're all smart. That door opens, and it's opening a little. You got to grab it. You got to grab it because it's not going to keep opening. It just doesn't. This business does not work that way. So with bad timing with COVID, with bad timing with Netflix, such a huge hit on Netflix, and Rogers just wanted to share some of the cost, and Netflix was being very picky, and it wasn't really their show, even though it was such a huge hit for them. They didn't really have anything to do with the initial stages of that. Rogers did. So it was Rogers' property, and I know for a fact if Netflix would have started that thing, there would have been probably 2 more. We would have finished it off in 4 seasons. But it just didn't happen, and I was very upset at first, but I'm over it. I'm really over it. I'm so grateful. I won Best Actor, we won Best Show, Best Writing for Michael Conovis. I mean, we won all those awards, and then it's over. Well, I'd rather be on something that was so respected around the world, and then we're not doing it anymore, than be on a show that's just poopville for 4 years, and it's not very good.
Yeah. You see that a lot. You see shows that I think they passed that prime of that would have been a good jumping off point, and then they push and they recast and things change, and then you kind of just like, you know.
Like, what did you think about Prison Break? Like, Prison Break is a good example, right? Like, for you guys who watch Prison Break, that first season, whoa. They got Teabag, Nutbag, they got this guy, you got Dominic, you got, they got these crazy characters, and everything's happening, and it was so successful. Yeah. Let's break out of prison. And then they went, no, let's go back to prison, because that was so, they didn't know where to go with it, right? That show should have never left prison, should have stayed in prison for 5 years, and it would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, then when you know the window, when this is your final, then you just, let's break out and be done.
Yeah.
Or end it on a note, then yeah, it's kind of strange. I mean, like The Office, Michael Scott left, and then like they tried to find replacements for a whole, come on, you can't do it without him. It's still good though.
Yeah.
Any other audience? Okay, great. We have one there. So let's jump to that side. Do you have one over here on this side of the room? Sorry. No, I did not. That was a stretch. Okay, back.
So I have the pleasure of coming on this super review ride with you, and thank you again for saving me in the middle of the pandemic, because it was amazing. But one of the favorite parts of this whole thing is watching you and Theo discover Sons of Anarchy for the first time, let's be honest. And my question to you is, do you finally get it why we're all so crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Candace, we saw it happening in season 5, 6, and 7, where we had hundreds, you came down, Candace, we had hundreds of people who would be outside the gates at our studio in Burbank. And we had to have security people clearing people away when my bike would pull up, when Charlie would pull up. They'd be, and if they were lucky, when we had a break, we'd go and say hi, take a selfie, This is way before COVID, so you could, hug people and whatever, but security guards were, anyway, the point is, we knew we were onto something, because you get 4 million a Tuesday, then you get 6 million every Tuesday, then 8 million every Tuesday on FX? Are you joking? I mean, the amount of people that watch the show, but for us to watch it now is what you're asking. I got to tell you, I mean, we were in all the shows, so we read them all. I certainly don't remember them all. I only watched 30 of them, but now I've watched every single one and taken all these 10 pages of notes that it kind of blows my mind. I said to Booney, I saw Mark Boone Jr. played Bobby with Sin last weekend in Philadelphia, and I'm blown away at his work in the 5th season. Like, Bobby was so freaking good in the 5th season. Jax has lost his way. He's completely gone psycho. He's killing people for no reason. Opie's dead. He's lost his way. Clay wants him gone. And here's Bobby, the big VP, who's like become the moral compass of the club. And he's just so good. And Boone is like me. He's never watched the show, really. He's going, no, I'm not. Nah. I go, no, you really are, bro. You're doing some really good work. So yes, Candace, to see the ferocity of all you guys discovering that show. And remember, it wasn't like you couldn't binge it. You had to wait. Oh, and on November the 28th, you have to wait till next September. And we still kept everybody and grew. That's because of Sutter and his writing and the acting and the directing, and It really worked, yeah.
So if you're flipping through the channels in the hotel room and you see something that you've been in is on TV, do you stop? Do you stop for a beat?
Depends
or
on
do you
what it
just like keep...
Depends on what it is. You know?
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I think you have to go cut the ribbon on a dog park in Saskatoon, so we got to get you. We got to get you out of here. So.
I love you, man.
All right.
Any other questions? Is there anything else that people are just dying to ask?
Okay, a couple more.
Thanks, man.
I just wanted to know what it's like to be a Canadian in a primarily American industry. Do people like working with me?
Well, actually, if I may, it's not any longer a pro-American industry. I have to tell you, when I first started doing movies in this country in the early 90s, maybe, not anymore. I mean, there are so many companies that are coming up here to shoot all the time. The Canadian actors are getting better and better and better. And I'm so proud of this French director, this French-Canadian director who directed Dune, he's going to win all the Oscars. I mean, you know, the French have their own thing going on, which is very exciting. I wish I spoke French, but I love subtitles. But you know, these two know, I'm Canadian first. I'm very proud to be American as well, but I'm Canadian first. And I to be able to come off of Sons of Anarchy and do a couple of cool little freaky movies right away out of the gate. I mean, I never stopped doing movies, but when Sons is over, you can't wait to just do film after film after film. And then to get that call about Bad Blood, well, the first thing that startled me was how good the writing was, how amazing the writing was. Oh, wait, they have the brains to hire me. Oh, wait, I might have a connection to Anthony LaPaglia. Oh, wait, Paul Sorvino likes Kim Coates. He'll work for less money because the script's so... And oh, wait, Enrico came on, Tony Napo, Michelle from Montreal. I mean, we had some of the great Canadian actors on that show, and to win all these awards. So it's not like it used to be. It's kind of... I'm really proud to say that Canada is just kicking ass now in the film market. And I think TV's getting better too. You know, there was that decade there where it was, you know, nothing wrong with CBC, nothing wrong with I'm not saying anything, but we needed more showcase, you know? We needed a bit more, and I think we're getting,
Do you find that you're traveling south less with everything shooting in Canada? Because I feel like literally everything we watch on TV now is shot either in Vancouver or Toronto.
Isn't that funny, eh?
In the yeah, you saw someone with an It shirt outside, and that shot out in Oshawa around. The person beside had a Shazam shirt on. That shot in Toronto, and the Flash in Vancouver and everything.
Yes, but I have to say that, you know, the industry started here first last August before any other country, because we're Canadian and the majority of us believe in vaccines, believe in doing the right thing, want to help our nurses and our doctors, for fuck's sake. And honestly, we all wore shields and masks and happily, because we were working, and it felt so bizarre to have this on the whole time. We're ready to shoot. Get your place. Ta-da! I'm an actor. I get to take it off. And yet no one else could other than the actors. And so because of Canada, people, and the dollar was, you get more for your buck up here, obviously. Yeah. But it's the crews. You can't even get. We're getting so talented up here. We're way ahead of the curve. So I'm pretty proud of good old Canada.
Just got to get that credit back in the prairies, but it's another topic for another day. So
Am I seeing you tomorrow?
What's that?
Do I do this again tomorrow?
Oh, you want to do a whole panel on why Saskatchewan should have a film industry? Yeah, I know.
I want to talk about New York is big, but this is bigger. Why we're not filming there more?
This is true. I've literally gone to sets in Toronto where they got someone, set decking and planting wheat out front of an old auto body shop to look like a New Mexico police station. I'm like, there's a place in Canada that we could
right here in Canada.
There's no wheat planting required. But hey,
that was a shame. I did a big rally to try and help the NDP and the Liberals back then against the Saskatchewan party. And hey, I'm all for it. Brad Wall, good job. He did a great job. But he literally killed the film industry in one pen swoop. And he made a mistake, and he knows it. It was a big mistake. They lost so much money by doing that. He just thought, how much are we giving in tax incentives? How many millions? Oh, that's got to... So you need to grab people like that and go, wait. Yeah. Wait. Do you know what you're doing? For that $4 million, you're going to get $6.5 million back. Wait. With that, you're going to get people's hotels, food, duct tape, cars, rentals, the studio. You sell it to Netflix for $14 billion. Are you nuts? Regina is one of the most... Anyway, don't get me started.
Yeah, it's true. It's interesting. I used to live downtown Toronto, right beside the convention center there, and like during COVID, they turned the exhibition area into like literal film studios to house production. So you have places that would normally sit empty that are now keeping the lights on, and money's going back into the city. And you look at the cities that you took less of a hit were ones that had strong functioning film industries during the pandemic, as like you said, productions kept going. Toronto stayed very busy. Caterers were still working. Electricians were still going to set. So it is a huge part that people don't think about.
Did you film neon lights in the pandemic?
Sorry?
Did you film neon light in the pandemic?
I did.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
Yeah, it was...
I think you kept many people employed just on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, and Brenna, my daughter, stars in that with Dana Abraham, who's just a brilliant artist. This guy wrote it, starred in it. It's his movie. I come in and lend a hand. But Brenna, cast of 8, one location, beautiful during COVID. It'll be out next year, Neon Lights. Yeah, you watch for that. You know, here's the thing with these independent movies, right? I've done 4 maybe since the pandemic. 1, See For Me. Yeah. Did you like it, Sin? Skylar starred in it. Blind. Yeah, she's amazing. They. I'm so bad at knowing the right but Skylar's beautiful. Anyway, she's beautiful in the movie. And it opened Tribeca. It opened in the London Film Festival. Like Randall, the director, wrote me and said, look at this little movie, go. So these films need film festivals, right? If they're seen at film festivals, you really have a shot at selling them. And with COVID, it's really taken a hit on these beautiful little indie films. I don't care what country or where you're from. That's why we go to film festivals, is to see not Batman 24, nothing wrong with that, but you're seeing Neon Lights, you're seeing, Donkey Head. Wait till you 2 see Donkey Head. Wow. Neon Lights is amazing too. So there you go. That's it. That's all I've got.
Just talk about that.
Okay. Give it up for Kim Coates, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.